republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Chairman's report. There's none today. We have some grants, gifts, and donations. We have a donation of $175 to the World War II Memorial.
Motion to accept.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have a Council on Aging donation of $200.
Motion to accept.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And
have-
I move that we send letters of thanks to the donors.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So, we have an appointment to the Board of Registrars, April 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2023. Carrie Boyd.
Motion to appoint.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We have a business license to review, approve, and sign for 2020. Sharon Pearson, DBA Pearson Hardware, 6A Fruit Street, general business.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We have approval of the warrant for the presidential primaries on March 3rd, 2020.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have approval of the bond sale results and signing of associated borrowing paperwork.
Motion to approve.
Second. Is there language with that? No?
Yeah,
Oh,
I need
good.
to read
Good.
it. I, the clerk of the Board of Selectmen of the town of Newbury, Massachusetts, the town, certify that at a meeting of the board held January 28th, 2020, of which meeting all members of the board were duly notified and at which a quorum was present, the following votes were unanimously passed, all of which appear upon the official record of the board in my custody. Voted that the sale of the $1,715,000 general obligation police station bonds of the town dated February 6, 2020, the bonds, to Robert W. Baird and Company, Inc., at the price of $1,773,409.06, and accrued interest, if any, is hereby approved and confirmed. The bond shall be payable in October 1 of the years and in the principal amounts in bear interest at the respective rates as follows. Now, this is very long. I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna read it all, okay? Year 2020, amount $25,000, interest rate 5%. 2021, $35,000, 5%. 2022, $35,000, 5%. 2023, $35,000, 5%. 2024, $40,000, 5%. 2025, $40,000, 5%. 2026, $45,000, 5%. 2027, $45,000, 5%. 2028, $50,000, 5%. 2029, $50,000, 5%. 2030, $50,000, 5%. 2034, $225,000, 2%. 2038, $245,000, 2.125%. 2042, $265,000, 2.375%. 2045, $215,000, 2.5%. 2049, $315,000, 2.5%. Further voted that the bonds maturing on October 1st, 2034, October 1st, 2038, October 1st, 2042, October 1st, 2045, and October 1st, 2049, each a term bond, shall be subject to mandatory redemption or mature as follows. Term bond due October 1, 2034, year 2031, amount $55,000. 2032, amount $55,000. 2033, $55,000. 2034, $60,000. Term bond due October 1, 2038, the year 2035, the amount is $60,000. 2036, $60,000. 2037, $60,000. 2038, $65,000. Term bond due October 1st, 2042. Year 2039, $65,000. 2040, $65,000. 2041, $65,000. 2042, $70,000. Term bond due October 1, 2045. Year 2043, amount $70,000. 2044, $70,000. 2045, $75,000. Term bond due October 1, 2049. Year 2046, $75,000. 2047, $80,000. 2048, $80,000. 2049, $80,000. Further voted that in connection with the marketing and sale of the bonds, the preparation and distribution of a notice of sale and preliminary official statement dated January 14th, 2020, and a final official statement dated January 23rd, 2020, the official statement, each in such form as may be approved by the town treasurer, be and hereby are ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further voted that the bond shall be subject to redemption as the option of the town upon such terms and conditions as are set forth in the official statement. Further voted that the town treasurer and the board of selectmen be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver a continuing disclosure undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C 2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the bonds for the benefit of the holders of the bonds from time to time. Further voted that we authorize and direct the town treasurer to establish post-insurance federal tax compliance procedures and continuing disclosure procedures in such forms as the town treasurer and bond counsel deem sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor and maintain the tax-exempt status of the bonds and to comply with relevant securities laws. Further voted that each member of the Board of Selectmen, the town clerk, the town treasurer, be and hereby are authorized to take any and all such actions and execute and deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them or any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes. I further certify that the votes were taken at a meeting open to the public, that no vote was taken by secret ballot, that a notice stating the place, date, time, and agenda for the meeting, which agenda included the adoption of the above votes, was filed with the town clerk, and a copy thereof posted in a manner conspicuously visible to the public at all hours in or on the municipal building that the office of the town clerk is located, or, if applicable, in accordance with an alternative method of notice prescribed or approved by the Attorney General as set forth in 940 CMR 29.03 2B, at least 48 hours, not including Saturdays, Sundays, and legal holidays, prior to the time of the meeting and remained so posted at the time of the meeting, that no deliberations or decision in connection with the sale of the bonds were taken in executive session, all in accordance with Chapter Laws, Chapter 30A, Sections 18 to 25, as amended. This is dated January 28, 2020, and signed by the clerk of the Board of Selectmen, which is me.
Okay, someone wanna, yeah, we gotta make a motion, yeah.
As per the details outlined in the document provided by bond counsel Lockheed Lord LLP dated January 28th, 2020, I move to authorize the sale of general obligation police station bonds of the town dated February 6th, 2020.
Second.
Any discussion?
With bond sales, are they different than a mortgage where if you overpay on initial payments, you can reduce the principal payments later?
You can refund your debt, but you can't just arbitrarily decide.
You can't pay them down. Okay, I wanted that out there for people because it's an unfortunate aspect of bonds that you can't make early payments to reduce the whole thing.
We did that. I'm trying to remember what year, 2012 or so. We saved a significant amount of money by refunding, but
Yeah.
these are pretty decent rates.
So quick question, on 2034, the interest rate drops to 5 to 2.
That's based on the bid that Bear
I just, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any old business? Okay, any meeting updates?
I do, it's like, I'm sure what's it done. So, this past weekend, I went to the MMA convention, and I can't say what an excellent event it was. Back 18 years ago, I went to UMass, and it was in the dorms. This is at the Hancock building. It was well-run, it was on time, the subjects were excellent, the workshops were excellent, good, a lot of networking. I brought some things home for the board, which I will give to Ellen. It's like, if you wanna see, I read things on cybersecurity. One of the things I found fascinating, KP Law, which was a major sponsor of the event, they had in their booth, they had e-updates, and it's like participation in executive session. It's like, it's just many things that, it's like, so I'm gonna leave these for Ellen too, so you can photocopy for the board. The other thing is, one of the things I saw was the recycling. There was a recycling convention on April 2nd, and I know that's usually the Board of Health, but if anyone's interested in learning the greatest there, that's that. I did spend some time with the Cannabis Control Commission. They had a 2.5 hour, no, it's an hour and a half, I guess, session where they had municipal towns that already have it and their problems and the benefits. It was just, I can't speak enough about how good of an event it was, okay? And then Alicia and I, we saw each other.
Yeah.
So,
So I have a couple of meeting updates. I got the MMA meeting. There was, I went social media. I went to a workshop on social media. I went to a workshop on the FCC regs, and the FCC regs have changed for the cable advisory, our cable monies that we receive. I already updated Tracy on it. Ellen has to keep an eye out in case they start deducting the cost off of our refund for free drops that we receive in town, because the new regs that came out of the FCC say that they can charge back to cities and towns for in-kind donations, and they call those free drops in-kind. They haven't done it yet. There's a group of people, attorneys, that are ready to go after the FCC and argue that they're really not, and then depending upon how much they charge you back, so it's just a long thing. So anytime, I already told Tracy, if Ellen sees any deduction in our monies that we receive monthly, to let this person, I give the card to Tracy, let them know, and then they'll go after them. There was, I went to, there is legislative pending to correct that as well. I went to the Massachusetts Selectmen's Association meeting. Did you go to
yeah,
that?
I was at, yes.
You were there?
That was amazing, that was interesting.
Yeah. So one of the things that they did was change their bylaws. So they are no longer, because it passed, no longer the Massachusetts Selectmen's Association, but they're the Massachusetts Select Board Association. And I would like to bring it to this board to see if we could change that for the town of Newbury, to change it from Board of Selectmen to Select Board. It seems to be the trend in all the cities and towns now. It's not, we're not men. I mean, I've been on this board for 5 years now, so I think it's something we can look at. There was, I also attended the rec committee meeting. I think it was Monday night, and there's a couple things that they need clarification. Tracy, they want clarification on the revolving fund, on how to fulfill the charge with the restriction in the revolving fund. I think that's something we could talk about outside of the meeting, this meeting with them, because the revolving fund is set up just to fund the field house and the fields.
Mhm.
But they're,
The
if they-
user fees fund the
Right.
maintenance and
and
everything
if
of the
they
field.
wanna do something like with yoga at the library, they they don't understand how that's gonna work.
I had a conversation with Celine about that, and basically, I think what they were looking for, if I understood it correctly, is they're looking for a regular operational budget
Mhm.
outside of the revolving fund. So that's something I told them we could discuss during the 2020 budget cycle.
Yeah, and I told them to.
2021.
2021, and I told them that this is the season and to
Yep.
put it all together now.
Yep.
And I asked them to have a, a statement
Yep.
for the annual that we come out to town meeting.
Got it.
There's a couple other questions. They want a student representative. That's in the a charge that we approved for them. They was a student rep, so I was hoping, Jen, you could put something in the paper saying that that the recreation committee is looking for a Newbury student to sit on the rec committee.
Age.
I don't think it has to be a high school student. Yeah. And I think that's all my meeting updates. One at-large member position will be set aside for a rising Newbury High School junior or senior for a one-year term. So it's gonna be a junior or senior for one-year term, renewable pending appointment by the Board of Selectmen. The student member will be a full voting member, but will not be required to sign Recreation Committee bill schedules. So, it doesn't have to be a Triton student, it can be, just homeschooled or
Has to be from Newbury.
has to be a Newbury resident. And I think that's my meeting update.
All right,
Only one
thank
other
you.
thing I was gonna add, there's one of the things I did go to was legislative updates. There was a workshop, and I've got a whole packet for the board. I'll give to Ellen to be, it's a lot of good information in it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Chair.
Yep.
Tracy reminded me because I forgot to give the update at our last meeting, but due to the good work of Bruce Tarr and all the other state representatives and senators, we were, Tracy and I, invited with those such senators and representatives to go to the Corps of Engineers building in Concord. And it's kind of an impressive place to go. It is military. And of course, the Corps holds the keys into some of the situations and solutions for Plum Island and the erosion issue. So that was the topic. And I would say that was a pretty high level conversation, wouldn't you, Tracy, that we had with, they're all very sharp people, very dedicated engineers and coastal geologists and all the other folks that are at the Corps. Mark Abel and certain other people have been there for, 25 to 30 years and understand some of the coastal issues. Thanks to the diligence and the time Bruce Tarr puts into the issues, we actually are going to have the ability to see our way to certain solutions. And the three major hot spots that were under discussion were obviously Reservation Terrace, where you're talking about this much. If you hold it like that, it's this much, protecting the houses. And above Center Island and kind of below the blue, which is still areas that are under discussion for certain types of solutions. And some of the forethought when I say Tracy and Doug couldn't go because he happened to be ill. Doug also is like tremendously so. The galvanizing spirit behind. I can remember being up at the engineer's office, GDA. I mean, 2 years ago, deciding the drop zones for being able to drop the Piscataqua sand if we ever get it out in front of the island, which will feed into the shore, let alone when they dredge the river. So I just wanted you to let you know that thanks to Bruce Tarr and the officials within your town, that we're working very closely with some of the people that are directly involved with all the issues on Plum Island.
Thank God we've had a winter without any huge storms.
For Reservation
We-
Terrace
we-
especially.
We lucked out amazingly there,
So far.
so far.
Any other meeting updates?
we've had to issue a few fines to the driving range for violations of the order of conditions we set at the last public hearing. So we'll discuss that more next Wednesday night, but just wanted to let you guys know that that had gone up.
Okay. Any other meeting updates? All right. Do we have warrants tonight? Looks like we do.
Motion to sign warrants.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Citizens' concerns?
I just have a quick question.
Leslie?
Leslie Matthews, 111 Main Street. On the last Board of Selectmen meeting, was there something on the agenda about change of charges for the police station, for the police department, that never got covered that particular evening?
Yeah, change order protocols, I'd had some conversations with Chairman Connors of the committee just about the change order protocol going into this, and we thought we might make some changes, but then we decided we best get into the process and we'll iron out any wrinkles as we go, so we're basically staying pat.
So there was nothing on the agenda?
No. I put that on in case
I
they
don't
came
remember
up,
that.
played out, but it didn't, so it was a moot point.
I think, JR, what seems to happen, I think it happened in Merrimack, and I know it's happened in Essex to Peter, who, my counterpart on the marsh is a selectman in Essex, and you enter into these things in the same way that they always get entered into, and then as they come fast and furious, sometimes they make changes because there's so many of them. So, and we haven't reached that point yet, for sure.
Just a shout out to Mr. Surratt. It's like they put that new pipe in,
Yep.
and those gentlemen, they ripped that right. The new pipe went in, I think, in a day and a half.
2 days,
2 days, yeah. It's like it was just
Do we have to?
impressive to watch.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, you can if you want to get into it.
I don't think, do we have to just, I don't think, I think it just can go, right? We don't have to.
As long as no one objects to the language, then
Yeah. All right, so we have a letter from Triton. There's proposed changes to section 16, the incurring of debt. It was in your packet, and I don't have any issue with it. Does anybody else
It's
have an issue?
basically all it is giving the time frame with which the district gives the towns notice of when they incur debt, because I don't know, this has been in the works for a while. I don't know how long the notice period was before, or even if there is one officially, but
I
this-
think they changed the amended to correctly reflect the,
Mass General Law.
and what goes on,
What we actually
do.
They're
Yeah.
changing the date, you mean?
They're changing the language in the agreement to reflect how we currently do it. We do it differently than it was stated in the agreement.
But it's more to reflect the time frames of which we
Yeah.
revolve in.
Yeah.
Which is,
that was my understanding.
which is good.
Yeah.
Basically, you've seen it and everything, right? Yeah. So,
Chairman Colby?
Yes,
We also have an appointment of Jason Lang as an emergency communications officer for your review and consideration.
Mike, want to tell us what that is?
We're trying to hire some more part-time communications people to free up police officers from the desk to get back out on the road and not cover the desk. And Jason is a full-time emergency communications officer up in Rockingham County in New Hampshire. He's got 20 years experience and wants to broaden his horizon. And he knows a few of my guys and said, I'd like to work here part-time. And so we did an extensive background. They love him up there, and I'm sure we'll love him down here. So,
Formerly known as dispatchers.
yes.
Wow.
But they don't just dispatch for the police, they do fire and EMS and everything else, so.
Everyone's got a new name.
We tried to get it out of the police realm to the whole town. Any other questions? Any questions?
Does he drive a motorcycle?
I have no idea. I met the kid once.
Did you have an opening for it anyways?
Yeah, we have several openings, so if anyone watching.
Yeah.
We're looking for part-time communications people, so if anyone out there watching, put in an application, so.
Perfect.
All right.
All right, I move that we appoint Jason Lang as an emergency communications officer.
Second.
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. There is none tonight, so, I don't know,
I move to adjourn.
yeah, if you want to get into it.
Oh.
I think you just mentioned that we got it, right?
Yeah.
You didn't do it, so I wanted to make sure you weren't skipping it by accident. So we got a letter from Jim Moran about town hall, and I think that's what we're gonna do, yeah.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All
Second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.